Welcome, race fans, to Monday Night Mania Race 5 in our 15-week series. Big shout out to tonight's sponsor, Gary Whitmer with GW Graphics. Great work on those videos out there done by GW Graphics. He is joining us in tonight's race. Best of luck to GW Graphics and Gary Whitmer. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is KMA TV. I am Scott Kolovic. This is week 5. This is Kentucky week. We are out here in the Kentucky Oval. Not a huge track. Actually a 1.5 miler. 1.460 to be exact. Great weather out here. As usual, we have got that 65-degree temperature. This is an open set, meaning the mechanics have been hard at work. Hey, I want to give a big shout out there to Paul Pellizer, our chief mechanic. Been teaching the guys how to get under the hood and get their palms greasy and dirty, so eventually drivers can get into each and every night and not have to be dependent upon the iRacing fix set that we still actually run on Tuesdays, but on Monday and Fridays it is open set, and the boys have been hard at work. As I said, this is Kentucky, 1.5 mile track. Drivers running about 29-second laps, so we're going to see how they do out here. Got a little bit of a long runway on that entry into pit row, but we'll work it out and we'll see how it goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, qualifying times are in, and we're going to take a look at our qualifying order and our qualifying grid out there on that P1 position. We do have Ryan Kuhn side by side with Travis Browder with a 28.619 and a 28.728. Could be the Ryan and Travis show one more time. Nathan Sylvia with a 28.732. Estelle Fields with a 28.801. And rounding out our top 5 is Abe Bowden with a 28.804. Good job, top 5. Position 6, we do have Blake Heather. Ronald Klein with RTK Motorsports in position 7. Alongside is Jack Watts with Southeast. Mark Jackson in position 9. And Mr. Wally Tierheimer, Wally, sitting back in position 10. Position 11, the Reaper, as he's known, Edward Bray. Jason Russo, our Tuesday night sponsor, over in position 12. Lee Staples, position 13. Donald Stewart, Boston Red Sox fan, position 14. And Dave Acacia, sitting back in 15th position. Bert Wilson, position 16. And Paul Pellizer, our chief mechanic, position 17. Our sponsor for the evening, Gary Whitmer Jr., in 18th, followed by Joel Guy, Lee Ryerson Jr., Chris Hogue back in the rear of the field. All righty, folks. Travis Browder, Ryan Kuhn. Travis having a very good week, going to show us what it's all about here at Kentucky as drivers are making their way off of pit row. Starts and restarts, always done on leader's discretion, second gear. No 3 wide on the start. Always like to get off to a very good start as we do roll along. Good starts are nice, especially here at Kentucky, pretty much at every track. A lot of hopes out here for young Travis Browder, young Ryan Kuhn, Nathan Sylvia, one of those young Wildcats as well. Nice looking pace car, iRacing.com. I'll tell you what, if this is your first time watching us, checking out what it is that we do out here, you got to get down here on this track, folks. It's a lot of fun. Pace car is off. And away goes Ryan Kuhn, already off hard and heavy. Travis Nathan. Number 42 is Still Fields, putting on a good show already. Number 74 trying to sneak up there on that inside lane. You want to get up here to the front soon as possible, folks. Here, as of late, we've been talking about that wasp's nest, that hornet's nest. And from about position 5th to 15th is where you don't want to be. Big checkup by the number 14. Number 42 loose. Number 42 loose. Tragedy averted there by the number 42. Side by side with Nathan Sylvia. Blake Heather. Side by side with the number 74 of Abe Bowden. Ronald Klein in the number 76. Jack Watts in the number 77. Ronald Klein with the move on the left side of Abe Bowden. Side by side, tighter. Tighter, you can get her tighter than that, boys. This is Kentucky. Let's get ready to rumble. 1.5 mile track here at Kentucky in our week 5 of 15. Mark Jackson in the over-the-top paints and designs. Sneaking his way up there. Car number 3 tonight, trying to take a look at the inside door of the number 77 of Jack Watts. Jack Watts onto the rear end of the 74 and 74, making it tight with the 76. '74 looking at that inside lane. Still trying to work his way around Ronald Klein. We're off to a very good start here, folks. Been having some good racing out here with the KMA boys. Now watch that. Now that I said it, I'll jinx it. I can almost guarantee you that, ladies and gentlemen. Did a great race out here last night, only serving out, I believe, 2-3 cautions in our race for pad 266. As I mentioned, drivers have been out here working very hard at Kentucky. Working on their sets, trying to get out here and see what they can figure out. Checking in with Ryan Kuhn up there all by his lonesome. Well, Ryan might want to slow down. He's already put a 1.1 second lead out on Travis Browder. 1.2. Still Fields in third. A little bit tighter racing going on back here with 3rd, 4th, and 5th position. Nice looking paint job there by Estill. Blake Heather, newcomer to the KMA League in the number 13. And I don't know much about Blake. He's a younger fella. One of them young Wildcats, but I'm pretty sure got a lot of experience. He's driving out a Toyota. Travis, a Toyota feller. Blake, a Toyota feller. And Nathan Sylvia in the Camaro. 2.5 seconds back. Ronald Klein sitting at 3.1 back. RTK Motorsports. Big shout out there too. Ronald Klein. Huge member of KMA Racing, owner of RTK, bringing the real-life RTK Motorsports dirt track and experience into iRacing. Nice-looking car right there. Showing his support for KMA TV, but hot on his heels is Jack Watts. Jack Watts showing his support for Southeast Motorsports as well as PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. Had our monthly race for PAD last night. Had a lot of views on that one, folks. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Check out information about PAD at www.padd.org. Abe Bowden staying in line with Jack Watts. Mark Jackson hot on the heels of Abe Bowden. Abe Bowden 4.6 seconds back off of our race leader. Mark Jackson at 4.9. Nice looking paint job there by Over the Top Paints and Designs in the number 3 of Mark Jackson. Stars and Stripes. Mark Jackson, a true American. America is what he likes to say. America And tonight he is in America. He is Kentucky, folks, for race 5 of 15. Talking about America, what is America without baseball? And we've got the number 78 of Donald Stewart, showing his love for his father. Big Boston Red Sox fan. And what goes better with baseball, but you guessed it, a great big fat juicy burger. Talking about burgers, there is Wally Tierheimer in the Carl's Jr. Number 57 back there in 11th position. Big shout out there to Wally. Working our way on back through that field, Lee Staples representing Black Talon Racing along with Edward Bray. Positions 12 and 14th. Jason Russo splitting them up. Our Tuesday night sponsor, number 19 Pro Automotive Napa. Gary Whitmer, our host with the most for the Monday Night Series with GW Graphics in the number 5. Looking sharp out there. Beautiful looking car as he is. Just got a nose out there on Edward Bray. Paul Pellizer kicking asphalt in that number 31. Big shout out there too, kicking asphalt with Dave Acacia. Paul Pellizer waiting for Edward Bray to open up that inside lane. As soon as he does, he's going to come a knocking, but he's going to get to rocking here. Trying to work his way up that field. Dave Acacia coming around on the outside of Paul. Dave Acacia in the number 20. A little bit of a blink up there with the number 19, Jason Russo. Seemed to have disappeared a little bit. Came back. Gary Whitmer giving him a wide berth. Lee Ryerson back in the number 125. Position 18. And Joel Guy in the city. City number 91. Chris Ho. Right now in 20th position. But hey, I want to give a big shout out there to Chris Hogue driving the KMA TV. Hey, big shout out there for Gearhead Paint Shop. Beautiful looking ride right there. Actually, that's not done by Gearhead. That's done by RTK. Similar ride done by Gearhead, but that is a RTK. RK Paints and Designs. Now that I look a little bit closer at it. Beautiful looking ride right there. Yep, RTK Paints and Designs. Big shout out there too. Chris Hogue, Gary Whitmer, Ronald Klein, Brad Ream not able to join in the fun tonight for RTK. Checking in up on Ryan Kuhn. Ryan Kuhn pulling down a last lap of a 29.8.6. Hitting speeds upwards of 188 miles per hour. Getting her back down here at Kentucky to 162. Getting back on it. Getting back up into it. Going to jump up high in the sky. He's got a massive lead out there on our position 2 and 3. 2.7 seconds back for Blake Heather and Travis Browder. Estelle Fields still looking very strong in third place position. $18 laps of 100 tonight. 82 to go, folks. Ryan Blake, Travis Estelle, Nathan Sylvia. Fifth position. Got some racing going on right here between Ronald Klein, Donald Stewart side by side. Jack Watts, Mark Jackson. Get a little bit of that action right here on lap 19. Mile and a half are out here all week. Tomorrow night we're going to be running the trucks at Kentucky. Friday is going to be an awful lot of fun. Running the big boy cars, the Gen 6s. Toyota Camry, Ford Fusion, Chevy SS, a lot of power for a mile and a halfer. Check it out on Friday. Also on Thursday, live broadcast by KMA TV with Ronald Klein at the helm. Side by side, Mark Jackson, number 76, Ronald Klein. Plenty of time to get the job done tonight, Mark Jackson knows, and it shows. Started ninth. Currently is in ninth position. Ronald Klein started seventh. Down one spot to eighth. Knows he's not worried about it. Plenty of time to get that job done out here tonight at Kentucky. Gonna ride shotgun, working our way up to the front of the field, riding up there with Jack Watts, looking at the rear end of Nathan Sylvia. You'll notice on the rear end of Nathan Sylvia, he's got paint up there, I want to go fast. Right now it seems that Jack Watts might be a little bit faster than Nathan Sylvia. Jack Watts heading down underneath Nathan Sylvia, up in that higher groove. Nathan Sylvia opting for that Camaro. I think I'd choose a Camaro over a Toyota. I'm not a Toyota feller. Jack Watts, I know, is in a Camaro. Side by side. Jack Watts with a run. Nathan Sylvia up on that high lane. Good side-by-side action here with Jack Watts and Nathan Sylvia early in tonight's race. Jack Watts getting that run. RTK having to do a big back off, giving Mark Jackson the run on the outside lane. RTK possibly getting just a little bit more of a run than he wanted to. Being safe and sound. Donald Stewart up in fifth place. Still battling hard with Travis Browder. Got to be careful not to wear out those tires here at Kentucky, though. I tell you what, folks. Travis Browder sitting at 3.6 seconds back off of iRace leader Ryan Kuhn, leading every lap out here tonight. 25 laps led for Ryan Kuhn. Up there in the distance, we've got second place position Blake Heather. Still trying to get down on that inside lane. Gonna try to get around the Toyota Camry being driven by Travis Browder. Backing her off. Got the run. Travis left that door open. Side by side action. Travis Browder fighting back on that outside lane. Wicked paint job there on the Camry of Estill Fields. Jet fuel only. We're going to see how that jet fuel works out. Showing his support there for KMA Racing. Love the horse. Nice looking paint job. U.S. Air Force. And a little bit of a beautiful, beautiful paint job there. Johnson Racing. Big shout out there to Estill. Donald Stewart honoring his dad, Everett. Boston Red Sox in fifth position, 5. Drivers have begun to spread out here at Kentucky. They're looking at about a 42 lap fuel load. Still battling hard to get caught up to Travis Browder. Ryan is on a runaway tonight, leading 29 laps. Travis utilizing the dark side of the track. You've heard of the dark side of the force. You've heard of the dark side of the track. Jumping on back to the rear of that field. 23 seconds back, Jason Russo started 12th. currently in position 19th. Not sure what happened to Jason, but he's fallen back several spots. P18 belonging to Lee Ryerson in the 125. Joel Guy, number 91, 21 seconds back. Gary Whitmer in front of the City 91. Position 16th. 21.3 seconds back off of our race leader, Gary Whitmer. Edward Bray in the number 66, 15 back. Looking like we've got some green flag pit stops on lap 31 early in for Edward Bray. Appears Lee Staples is going to go in with a mighty long trip down pit row here at Kentucky. Green flags starting already. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Monday Night Mania. Race 5, week 5 of 15. Early pit stops by Edward Bray and Lee Staples. Heading in on lap 32, checking up with our race leader, Ryan Kuhn. Ryan Kuhn, one more time by pit row. Position 1, Blake Heather, 1.6 back. Travis Browder, Donald Stewart. Side by side with Donald Stewart and Travis Browder on lap 33 of 100. Travis Browder in the normal number 18 was running the 46 last night. Throwback number there for Kyle Busch. Travis Browder, a huge Kyle Busch fan. One more driver out there on pit row. Mark Jackson side by side with the number 64 of Lee Staples. Lee Staples already running his first green flag pit stop, will be one lap down compared to Mark Jackson. As soon as Mark Jackson does cycle through pits, that'll put Lee Staples back on that lead lap. 66 laps to go, plenty to think about, plenty of strategies to worry about. As we do go with Nathan Sylvia and Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson into pit row. Mark Jackson in the number 3, over-the-top paints and designs. Camaro in on 35 for his first of, I do believe it'll be 2 and a top off. So 3 pit stops taking right sides. Hey, big shout out there to Mama Patty and Kristen Phillips rooting on their favorite driver, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson in out of pit row. No penalty. Good job, Mark Jackson. Now get back out on that track and get some spots back, brother. Mark Jackson pulling it back up onto that track. That'll put Ronald Klein with RTK Motorsports out there in front line. Has yet to make his first green flag pit stops. Taking a quick look at our running order after a few drivers have gone in and out of pit row. Ronald Klein, Abe Bowden, David Casey, our top 3 drivers. Joel Guy, 4th. Lee Ryerson, 5th. The still field sitting back in 8th position. Ryan Kuhn, our race leader, originally dropping to 6th position after his green flag pit stops. Donald Stewart, Travis Browder, 1 lap down due to their pit stops. Mark Jackson 2 laps down due to a pit stop. But you got to remember, folks, a lot of drivers have yet to pit. Several drivers running her out. We are riding shotgun with Ronald Klein. Ronald Klein dropping to position 3. Coming up on Abe Bowden, David Casey, Travis Browder on fresher tires. Go, Travis, go. Now, that's one thing here about Kentucky. Travis Browder, he's up there on those fresher tires. 1 lap down, the number 5, Gary Whitmer, already making his green flag pit stop. And I know this because they are just coming up and tearing through this field. They are flying past these drivers that are sitting back on older tires. Abe Bowden headed into pit row for a green flag pit stop. Ooh, barely able to get her down to that proper speed. A little bit of a scary ride going into pit row for Abe Bowden. Abe Bowden currently in 3rd position, started 5th. His first of green flag pit stops here at Kentucky. 40 down, 60 to go, 3 lead changes. Ooh, Abe Bowden passing up that pit road just a hair. That's going to cost him. Checking in with our current race leader, Dave Acacia. Ronald Klein in P2, Joel Guy into position 3. Dave Acacia started 15th, currently out in position 1. Joel Guy looking like he's got some front end damage in position 3. Not 100% sure if Joel Guy has gone in and out of pit row or not. Take a look at that front end damage, though. Yeah, there it is, folks. He must have scuffed up on the wall. Well, I tell you what, we're going to have to call out the highway patrol, get a damage report on that wall. Number 91, Cole Trickle. Hey, big shout out there to Joel Guy, 3rd position. Donald Stewart, number 78. A little bit of damage up on his right side as well. Mark Jackson looking very sharp as he does, coming around the number 20 up, Dave Acacia. Mark Jackson, 1 lap down, first driver, 1 lap down after some green flag pit stops, started 9th. Currently in 10th position, no skin off of his neck. I do believe Mark Jackson is going to be a contender for a top 3 position tonight. Jack Watts, our last driver on the lead lap, in position 9. Kentucky, one of those tracks that does spread out the drivers. Lee Ryerson coming out of pit row himself, 1 lap down in position 19. Gary Whitmer, 1 lap down, position 17. Jason Russo still doing some pack racing here. 1 lap down, though. As the number 13, Blake Heather, and the number 42 of Estelle Fields. Both of those drivers in 2nd and 3rd position. Jason Russo 1 lap down in position 19th. Or position 15th. Lee Staples, position 14th, number 64, last driver. First driver 1 lap down. Lap 45 of 100, folks. What a great race out here tonight at Kentucky. Caution free. Caution free is nice. Dave Acacia making his exit way from pit row here on lap 46. Abe Bowden trying to work his way around Joel Guy. Joel Guy 2 laps down. Field has really gotten strung out here tonight on lap 47. Wally Tierheimer sitting in position 10. Started 10th. Currently in 10th position. How about it, Chris Hogue out there on the KMA TV chat board? Appreciate all the fans out there watching. Chris Hogue, unfortunately, having to take her into the hauler tonight. But was glad to see him here. Paul Palazier Getting it on with the number 14 of Nathan Sylvia for position 8. 15 seconds, 16 seconds back off of that race leader. Number 31, Paul Pellizer, Kicking Asphalt. Has a teammate here, two teammates here actually, Jason Russo and David Casia. Nathan Sylvia running with the Maximum Velocity drivers. Mark Jackson in position 7. Trying to race his way up to the number 77. A lot of 7s out there for Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson behind that leader, 14.7 seconds. Big shout out there to Mark Jackson, Kristen Phillips, and Mama Patty out there on that KMA TV chat. Need to get Mama Patty out here. I wonder if Mark's ever put Mama Patty behind the wheel of his rig, is what we call him, folks. We call him a rig. I think some of our wives call them toys. My wife made that mistake once. And remember, folks, it's not a game. It is a simulator. Jack Watts, number 77, running for Southeast. On the same radio channel with Mark Jackson. At the halfway point, lap 51 of 100. Travis Browder sitting back in 5th position. Behind that leader at 8.7. Still Fields racing it up with the lap traffic of Jason Russo. Jason Russo 1 lap down, position 15. Still Fields, position 4. Donald Stewart, position 3 in the red and white Boston Red Sox. 4.8 back. Blake Heather, almost to the rear end of our race leader, Ryan Kuhn. Ryan Kuhn up to the lap traffic of the number 91 of Joel Guy. Ryan Kuhn in the monster, but Ryan Kuhn looking like he's got some right side damage. That might be why the number 13, Blake, is catching him. Joel Guy with a little bit of right side damage. Blake taking over. Blake trying to lead his first lap of the night. But I tell you what, Ryan's not going to give it up, but he has gave it up. What a run by the number 13, Blake Heather. I tell you what, he got it down into that low groove, and away he went side by side. Ryan Kuhn and the number 13. Great racing out here for these two young drivers. Ryan Kuhn may have burned up his stuff, I do fear. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to throw a couple of side-by-side commercials your way. And we'll be right back with you folks, so stay tuned. Welcome back, race fans. We are caution free in the Xfinities at Kentucky. I'll tell you what, if you'd have told me, I might have told you were fibbing. But what a night tonight for a Monday Night Mania. Big shout out there to GW Graphics. Speaking of GW right now, 1 lap down in the number 5 in position 17, but doing an awesome job out here tonight, keeping clean, staying out of trouble. Mom and Dad Whitmer got to be pretty proud, but our current race leader is Blake Heather in the number 13. Catching you up on that current running order, Blake out there in P1, Ryan Kuhn P2. Third place, Donald Stewart. Mr. Field sitting in position 4. T-Bow, we call him. T-Bow, T-Bro. Mr. ESPN, as he likes to be called. I call him Gilligan. He calls me Skipper. Right now, I'm calling him 5th position. Jack Watts sitting in 6th. And Mark Jackson making his way up to position 7. Paul Nathan and Abe Bowden rounding out our top 10. Wally Tierheimer, David Casey, 11th and 12th. Lee Staples, Edward Bray. Jason Russo, 1 lap down. Ronald Klein, position 15. Drivers have really spread out tonight. Kentucky will do that for you. A lot of different driving styles, a lot of different braking points. Edward Bray exiting pit row after his next round. Now, if my calculations are correct, let's see, 37 to go. I think that might be about the fuel load. I thought it was about 42, was closer to 40. So Edward Bray should be good on fuel, but he is 2 laps down. Joel Guy, 3 down. Blake Heather in control of tonight's race. Leading 10 laps. Ryan Kuhn leading 45. Abe Bowden leading 2 and Ronald Klein leading 1 lap. No extra points for leading a lap or leading most laps. You're doing straight with the point positionings. Donald Stewart looking at 5.7 back as he races along with Lee Ryerson. Lee Ryerson 2 laps down. Hey, big shout out there to Becky Whitmer. Good to see her out there on that KMA TV chat. Caution free, Becky. How about that? Big shout out there to Chris and then Mama Patty. Chris Hogue out there on that KMA TV chat. Blake, Donald, Travis doing a great job out here tonight at Kentucky in race 5, week 5 of 15 on the Monday Night Mania, brought to you by GW Graphics. Checking in on GW for Mom. No trouble. He's got a perfect car, doing a very good job out here tonight. Drivers have been cycling in and out of their pit cycles. Ryan Kuhn blowing past the number 5 and the number 77, obviously on those fresh tires. And that's how we have ended up with only 8 drivers on that lead lap and doing a lot of green flag racing out here tonight at Kentucky. Gary Whitmer running a very good race, 1 lap down with 33 to go. Dave Acacia running in 7th position, trying to work his way around. Gary Whitmer allowing the leader by. We'll also allow Jack Watts by. Now, he is racing Jack Watts for position, but I'm thinking Gary Whitmer may have overdrove the tires a bit. Jack Watts, looking like Jack Watts is on fresh tires. He may have snuck in and out of pit row on us. Jack Watts 1 lap down. Dave Casey on that lead lap. But Jack Watts easily putting a little bit of distance between him and the number 20 of Dave Casey. We're actually getting a little bit closer to his rear end if you're in front. Blake, our race leader, into pit row. Blake leading 15 laps out tonight, taking right sides, taking left sides. Could be a power move right there. Gary Whitmer making his way out of pit row, along with Blake Heather dropping to position 3. That will put Gary Whitmer in position 18 after his green flag pit stop. Abe Bowden back there on the front line, trying to lead his 3rd lap of the night. That'll put Abe Bowden up there in front on lap 70 of 100. Hey, Scott Nelson out there on that KMA TV chat. I tell you what, brother, he asked how we're doing. I tell you what, we are doing hot. We are rocking. We are rolling. We have got green flag pit stop after green flag pit stop. I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now just for you, Scott Nelson. We're going to put up a quick race summary. And I'm liking all those zeros out there, especially those zeros down there at the bottom. 0 cautions for 0 laps. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, fans out there on the KMA TV chat. Oh, no, Becky. Becky's like, we need a caution. We need a caution. Oh, no, sir. I believe that Gary can get back on that lead lap without use of a caution. Don't want any cautions out here tonight. 8 drivers up on that lead lap, though. Ronald Klein in 8th position. Jack Watts, Paul Pellizier, Mark Jackson, Nathan Sylvia, Wally Edward Jason, Lee, 1 lap down. Abe Bowden leading his 5th lap of the night. Jack Watts, number 77. First driver, 1 lap down as he does approach the rear end of the number 74 again. That tire wear. When we do see a driver just completely blowing a driver off, usually means he's got better tires. Usually means he just went in and out of pit row. Abe Bowden in the number 74 Skittle Mobile, as I like to call him. Doing a great job out here in P1, coming up on Ronald Klein. Ooh, and there's Paul Pellizier sticking his nose out there. Paul Pellizier, want a little bit of that action here on lap 74. Paul Pellizier scooting up that middle line. Case in point possible. Missed green flag pit stop there for Paul Pellizier, because he is rolling. He is rocking his way around this 1.5 mile track. Oh, wowsy! All righty, I tell you what, we're going to go back and take a quick look at that. Best I can get it.
Caution.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that did bring out that caution. Wow. All right, that was the number 42 of Estill Fields. That took me a little bit off guard. All right, Becky, case in point, there is the caution that Becky was looking for. Now, I tell you what, we're going to get a boatload. Oh, the number 3 going for a spin. Hang on to her, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson going for a little bit of a spin as he tries to get her slowed down, but doing a great job of saving it. Mark Jackson coming up fast on the rear end of the number 76, locks her up. Sliding almost into pit row, able to save it. Big save. Good job, Mark Jackson. Abe Bowden, Dave Acacia heading into pit row, but a lot of drivers choosing not to go into pit row, including Gary Whitmer. Now, the reason for this is they are looking for that wave by, and they are going to get that wave by. Free pass, actually. One driver will get the lucky dog wave by. The rest of these drivers will be able to get that free pass. Gary Whitmer will be one of these drivers. Joel Guy, driver that will get it as well. Wally Tierheimer. Lee Staples at the number 64. How about it, Gary? Have you got a copy, sir?
I got you, Scott.
I'll tell you what, first off, you're looking very good out there. We've got Mom Whitmer out there on that KMA TV chat. You're lined up to get that free pass. Good job. Surprise caution. Good night tonight. What do you think?
Not so good for me. I've had some bad luck here at this track.
All right, we know you were out practicing, but I tell you what, overall, as far as the driving goes, is everybody giving you plenty of room out there? I'm not seeing a whole lot of bickering going on.
Yeah, I'm giving a lot of room to the ones that are ahead of me as well, so, and then others are giving room as well.
All righty. Hey, real quick, I want to thank you for the sponsorship here on Monday. Tell us and our race fans all about GW Graphics and where we can check out that work other than on our videos.
Yeah, GW Graphics. I do video productions for KMA TV, commercial special events, and it can be found on Facebook and on YouTube at GW Graphics.
All righty, very good information there, Gary. We're going to let you get on to that free pass that I know you're anxiously awaiting. Big shout out there to Mom Whitmer.
Yep, big shout out to Mom and Dad and all the fans out there. Thanks for watching.
All right, copy that. Good luck to you, sir.
Yep, thanks, Scott.
Gary Whitmer with GW Graphics. Now that'll put Abe Bowden out there on that front line in position 1. Going to get a quick chat with my good friend Abe. How about it, Abe? Have you got a copy?
Big 10-4.
All righty, what a night out here tonight. You're doing pretty good. We were caution free. Kind of a freak thing that brought out that caution. I don't think it should have sprung, but it did. Nonetheless, this is Kentucky. We're off to a good start in week 5. What do you think?
Not a bad start so far. I'm enjoying the race so far. I won't be up front very long. I pushed it too hard, but I'm enjoying the ride while I have it.
All right, now explain to our race fans what you mean when you say you pushed it too hard.
I tend to push it too hard. I drive in too deep, and then I burn up my tires.
Burning up your stuff. Well, don't drive in so deep, brother.
Well, then I get run over.
All right, copy that. Nonetheless, got up there fair and square. Good luck to you, Abe Bowden.
Thank you.
Abe Bowden, a lot of fun. Abe Bowden in position 1. What a night out here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very impressed. One caution and one caution only. Coming out about lap 77, we're on 79, 21 to go. But Abe Bowden talking about how he's pushing it too hard. Now, I say don't push it, and he says, well, then I get runned over. Number 13, Blake, scrubbing some rubber off those tires, trying to get a little bit of heat built up in them. Great racing out here tonight. Abe Bowden, David Casia, Blake Donald, Travis Browder back up to position 5. Ryan Kuhn. Well, we may have the Ryan and Travis show one more time. Jack Watts, Ronald Klein, Paul Pellizer doing a great job. Pace car is in, and away we go. And there goes Abe Bowden, and he's pushing it. He's pushing it already. Big jump out there by Abe Bowden. And I do believe he's right. He may be fixing to get runned over. Runned over, as they say, across that Mason-Dixon line. Big shout out there, too. The Carolinians, the Tar Heels, my home country. God's country, as my mama used to call it. Where racing was formed back on the Moonshine Trails. Kentucky part of that. Blake Heather getting ready to run over Abe Bowden here on lap 81 of 100. Travis Browder sitting back there. Blake Heather having to do a big checkup. Travis Browder working his way around the number 13, Ryan Kuhn. Ryan Kuhn, fourth driver back in the number 72. Trying to work his way around Blake. Blake, the new kid on the block here with KMA Racing. Donald Stewart giving him a run for his money as well. These are our top 5, ladies and gentlemen. Having a lot of fun out here on lap 82. Travis Browder, winner of our pad race last night, trying to get himself a twofer. Blake Heather, caution will be out. All right, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. We don't need no secondary view for that. Take a look at the number 13 and the number 74. Right there, right there. I'm going to turn that camera one more time and take a look at that. And back it up just a little bit. And here we go, folks. Full speed. Watch the blue car. Watch the black car. Oh, and around and around and around. Abe goes, but did an awesome job of avoiding contact with anybody. Awesome job right there. Blake Heather seemed to get a little bit into the side, working his way around the number 18, the number 78 of Donald Stewart. Caught up into it as well. Going to back that up a little bit and see what happened to Travis and Donald. Must have been more contact up front. All right, big stuff going on out here, folks. All right, we've got the caution right there with the 13 and the 74. Donald Stewart trying to keep her alive. Contact between the number 78 and the number 18. Now, this is all the same caution, folks. And Ryan Kuhn, Jack Watts, oh no, Ronald Klein. I'll tell you, look at the avoidance of the number 77. 14's clear. Mark Jackson gets caught up into the number 78. Paul Pellizier narrowly avoiding it. Whoa, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, ooh, Mark Jackson smoking. And not smoking in a good, he's probably smoking under that collar right now. A lot of good drivers caught up in one driver's simple mistake. Alrighty, I'll tell you what, folks. The good news is that they've got a backup vehicle. They're going to get in there, get that backup vehicle. Few drivers probably pretty happy to have this come out and happen tonight. But I don't know. Let's get down there and talk to one of these drivers. How about it, Paul Pellizier? Have you got a copy?
Yeah, Scott, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. We had to go back and really go through that caution because we thought it only involved a couple of drivers. And then we saw the aftermath, getting Donald Stewart, Ryan Kuhn, Travis Browder sitting sideways on the track. But we saw you wiggle right past it. Talk to us about that.
1 foot on the brake and 2 eyes wide open.
I tell you what, very impressive.
Everything to get through that speed.
Very, very impressive. You're doing a good job tonight out here on 4th position. I want to give you a shout for being up our head mechanic. How are the sets feeling? How are the boys liking the sets out here tonight?
It looks to me like everybody is extremely comfortable. The low number of cautions is an indicator of that.
All righty, looking very sharp. Loving the skulls and the flames on the hoods. Kicking asphalt. Tell us all about it.
It's a team of 4 of us, Dave Acacia, Jason Russo, Scott Nelson, and myself. And we're representing pretty well. Got 2 in the top 5 tonight.
All righty, you've got Scott Nelson out there on that KM8 TV chat. Anything you want to talk to Scott about real quick?
Yeah, you tell him I said hello, and damn, he's got to make some of these races.
All righty, brother, I think you just did. Tell him he's out there. All right, good luck to you, Paul.
All right, take care, Scott, and I hope you're enjoying the show.
Great show, great driving. Alrighty, folks, lap 86 of 100. Becky Whitmer saying, Scott, I didn't ask for that one. I'll tell you what, that took me by complete surprise. Drivers are lined up double file. What a night it's been out here, though, folks. Did not see that second caution coming. Ryan Kuhn, Dave Acacia, kicking asphalt. Nathan Sylvia, Paul Pellizer, kicking asphalt. Jack Watts, Wally Tierheimer, Abe Bowden, Blake, Edward, Ronald, Jason, Travis, all on the lead lap. 7 lead changes, only 2 cautions, and those cautions coming out. Surprisingly, just did not see him coming out. They've really been spread out. Drivers doing a great job out here. We're off to a great start at Kentucky. Scott Nelson talking about he was out there racing his lawnmower around his yard today instead of out here racing at the track in Kentucky. Well, hopefully he'll be out there tomorrow night. If not, maybe we'll see him out there on Friday. Maybe even Daytona there on Thursday. Ronald Klein will be taking the helm on Thursday night, giving me a little bit of a break in the booth so that I can get out there and tear it up with the boys at Daytona on Thursday. Going to be broadcasting Saturday as well. 100-lap tally truck. Pace car is in. And away goes Ryan Kuhn, Dave Acacia, Nathan Sylvia side by side. Jack Watts, Paul Pellizer. Ryan Kuhn right now running for his life. Pretty much with 12 laps to go. That's what you've got to do. Dave Acacia side by side with the number 14. Here comes Jack. Here comes Paul. Wally Tierheimer not out of it. Number 77 of Jack Watts in the black car down on that low lane, side by side with Paul. Scott Nelson rooting on his teammate. 4. Kicking asphalt. Here comes Wally with a big run. Wally Tierheimer in position 6th. David Casey and Nathan Sylvia side by side. Tire and a hair and a biscuit right there, folks. Ryan Kuhn with 11 to go out there in front. Paul still in a very good position. Back in 4th, 5th, trading up it with Jack Watts. But the 2 I am watching very closely is Nathan and Dave. Oh, they're about ready to get real busy. Wally Tierheimer making a last-minute charge up there to the front. Gary Whitmer sitting back in position 13. First driver 1 lap down. I know Gary would like to see that caution come out, but he'd like to see it come out in the front. Paul Pellizer having his hands full with Nathan Sylvia, but still in top 4. Wally trying to charge on that inside. The number 13, Blake, making his way to the front. Back to the front, position 6. Nathan Sylvia working his way around. Paul, 3 wide action with Blake, Wally, and Paul. 3 wide. Hang on to her, Blake. Great racing right here. Oh, and contact with Paul and Wally. That'll do it. That'll be our 3rd caution of the night. Here's that 3 wide action that brought this up and into the events. We got Blake, Wally, contact with Wally and Paul. We're going to back it up one more time, take a look at it. I think Wally may have come up just a little bit, folks. We're going to look at it from one more angle. Wally Tierheimer. Well, I don't know, folks. I do not know. I want to back this camera out way far. As I tell you what, I always like to know what happened. You always like to know what happened. Here we are. Watch the 31, watch the 57. Ooh, I'm not sure. That may have been there on the 31. Nonetheless, we're going to move right on. We're going to get back to some green flag racing. This is not over until the fat lady sings. We're going to take a quick look at our race summary as these drivers do line back up. This is the third caution. And you know what? That's okay, folks, because I tell you what. We had that first caution come out long about 50, 55, so long ago I can't remember. Then we've had two just about back to back. It happens. I would expect nothing less out of these drivers right now. It is go time. Ryan Kuhn out there on that front line. Dave Casey, a second position. Nathan Sylvia, third. Blake Heather, fourth. Abe Bowden sitting back there in fifth position, still in it to win it. Jack Watts, Ronald Klein, Jason Russo, Edward Bray, Travis Browder, Paul Pellizier, Wally Tierheimer, Gary Whitmer Jr. I think that might put Gary back on that lead lap. Lee Ryerson, 1 lap down. Joel Guy, Lee Staples, 2 laps down. Mark Donald is still in Chris, having to take her to the hauler tonight. Taking a look at Blake. How about it, Blake? Have you got a copy, sir? Blake, have you got a copy, sir?
Yep.
How you doing, Blake?
Oh, fine. Just getting a little roughed around out here. Like.
Alrighty, I do believe this is your first league race with KMA Racing. It's a little intense for you, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind some racing. Maybe I pushed the issue a little bit there, but it was 6 to go and my car was fast, so I decided to try it, and racing happens, I guess.
It does. Well, I tell you what, I think you're doing a great job up here. It is go time. We're up here in the booth talking with our fans. So mentioning go time, we're looking at about a 4 to 3 lap shootout. You're in 4th place. Are you in it to win it? Do you have the tires to get that Toyota up there?
I sure hope so. I would love to be my first race and get a win here and stuff like that. I'm really excited to be here, and meet all the guys, so I'm going to do my best.
All right, you got anybody out there rooting you on tonight on the KMA TV chat?
Just Travis and Molly. That's about all that are rooting for me. I don't know anybody else, really.
I'm rooting for you, brother. Good luck to you.
Thanks, Scott.
All righty. 95, 5 to go. 7 lead changes, third caution. Scott Nelson pointing out cautions breed cautions, and he is absolutely right. This may not be our last caution, folks. Drivers lining up, tightening up, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. That will indeed put Gary Whitmer back onto that lead lap. Good job for Gary Whitmer. Gary Whitmer in position 13. Ryan Kuhn, solo driver. David Casey, kicking asphalt. Nathan Sylvia, max velocity. Blake running with Nathan Sylvia, max velocity. Abe Bowden running for KMA Racing. Jack Watts with Southeast. Ronald Klein with RTK. Jason Russo with Black Kicking Asphalt. Edward Bray with Black Talon. Still anybody's game out here, folks. 96.4 to go. Big shout out there to KMA Racing. Big shout out there to GW Graphics. Big shout out there to the fans on KMA TV. Becky Whitmer rooting on GW. Scott Nelson rooting on the number 20F, David Casey. Well, we're going to figure it all out here in just about, I would say, about 2.5 minutes. Assuming there's not another caution. Little bumping going on that start. Kind of took everybody off guard. That was scary. Just about had caution there on a restart. Oh, we will have, no, Abe Bowden. Blake beating and banging. Abe Bowden talking about roughing it up. I tell you what, it's go time. It is go time at Kentucky. They're going to rough each other up big time. Ryan Kuhn, Nathan Sylvia, Dave Acacia. Hard racing here, right here with Abe Bowden and Ronald Klein for 4th and 5th. Ryan Kuhn running for his life. Nathan Sylvia, P2. Dave Acacia, P3. The action sits right here with 77, Jack Watts, around the number 74. Trying to get up to the number 19 of Jason Russo. Ronald Klein running for his life for position 4. I'm not sure these drivers can keep this up for another 10 laps. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Watts with a big run underneath the number 19. Absolutely right. Scott Nelson, number 13, tried to fit. Number 13 and Abe Bowden one more time making contact. I think the number 13 and the number 74 might get out throwing helmets at each other before this night is over with. Ryan Kuhn, Nathan Sylvia, Dave Acacia, Nathan Sylvia racing it up for position 2. Dave Acacia down on that inside lane, lap 100 of 100 in the books, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be Ryan Kuhn, our race leader. Nathan Sylvia sitting back in position 2. And Dave Acacia pulling home a brilliant position 3. All right, hang out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get these drivers down here in booth with us. How about it, Dave Acacia? Have you got a copy?
Hey, Scott, how are you?
Doing good. I thought you had Nathan Sylvia right there.
Yeah, we had to run on the bottom. Just not enough laps to get out there. You know, we found out we ran good on the long run. Just not enough laps there.
Well, I tell you what, I think you did an absolutely wonderful job. Pretty hard to get a podium out here at Kentucky. You stayed safe. You stayed clean. We had Scott Nelson out there on that KM8 TV chat rooting you on. Anybody you want to give a big shout out to?
All the sponsors every night of the week, they do a great job. You guys for putting on the show for the fans, you do a great job. And my teammates, you know, we work all together. We pride ourselves on long run cars. You know, tonight we were running 40. I think our first run was 45 laps. We were trying for 90, and then we had some strategy after that. But it didn't work out. But, you know, hey, good finish tonight.
And how are you feeling about Kentucky week after this first race? Tomorrow we got the trucks. Friday we got the cup cars.
Yep, we're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to get some practice in tomorrow during the day, get ready for the trucks. We'll see how they feel in the long run as well. Like I said, KMA kicking asphalt. We work on long runs. So, you know, we're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to do that Friday.
All right, good job tonight, Dave. Position 3, great job.
Thank you.
All righty, how about it, Nathan Sylvia? You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Dave almost had you. Talk to me about that.
Man, dude, I thought right when he was coming off for turn 4, I thought that he was going to get me. That's why I tried to push him down to the yellow line as close to as I could without wrecking us both. But overall, the race, man, dude, I was my car was struggling all night. I mean, right now I finished second. I mean, that's a win to us. So.
All right, well, you are one of the names. Sometimes it's the Ryan and Travis show. Sometimes it's the Ryan and Nathan show. Sometimes it's the Nathan and Travis show. Talk to me about the last 100 laps, though. What was on your mind here at Kentucky?
I mean, I was just, like I said earlier, I was just trying to get, I mean, a top 5 would have been a win for us, too. I mean, we were struggling all night. We were edging out top 10 almost. I mean, after we get like 15 laps into the run, my car would just push up all the way up to the track, so that's why I'm happy that we get a short one at the end.
All righty, great job on the rear end of the Chevy. It says, I want to go fast, and guess what? You went fast.
Yeah, I was trying to.
Good job, Nathan Sylvia, P2.
Thank you.
All righty, how about it, Ryan Kuhn? I got about 1 million questions, so why don't you just answer them all and talk to me, brother?
Yes, sir, man. It was a wild night. It was crazy. Tell you that for one. Can't believe it. After all that, it was a lot of drama in this race for us. Hit the wall, speeding penalty on pit road, missed that big accident. I mean, it was just all in all a wild night. And to come home, that's probably one of my best wins yet, because all that, I can't believe it. That's unbelievable.
One of my best wins yet, he says, with a little bit of smugness right there. Good job. All right.
Thank you.
All right. What are your thoughts about Kentucky here with tomorrow night going into a fixed set truck race and Friday going into an open set cup race?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for tomorrow night. Definitely not a open setup guy. We definitely did not have Blake definitely had the long run car of the night, and my car would not handle long runs. And then it was loose on short runs and just got extremely tight. And then I can't wait for fixed setup tomorrow. And this track's not all my best track, so I was just trying to do the best I could. I threw the kitchen sink at her in practice, so it ended up pretty good.
All righty. Well, hell of a job out here tonight. Ryan Kuhn, we'll get those points posted up. I know you're a point leader. You did a great job tonight. Going to put you up there with the boys and tell the boys your secrets.
Yes, sir.
Good job, Ryan Kuhn, winning Week 5 on Monday at the Kentucky Track Xfinity class. Good job, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Going to get those points up there. Great job out here tonight. Going to take a quick look at our race summary. What a night out here. 3 cautions totaling 11 laps. Those cautions coming out. And then 2 of them back to back. But what a great night out here. All right, here are those race results. I am Scott Kolovic. This is KMA TV. We'll check you out tomorrow night. Same bat cave, same bat time. We'll be looking at you out there in the trucks tomorrow night. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.